Hello and welcome back to DJCamel Reviews, and today I'm reviewing Diamonds Are Forever, the 7th James Bond film, which again starred Sean Connery. So, On Her Majesty's Secret Service from 1969 didn't do that well, and George Lazenby only appeared in that film as James Bond, and they paid Sean Connery loads of money despite the kind of breakup he had with the producers to come back for the 7th Bond film, and this was much more successful, but is it actually any good? And it's not great, but not terrible. It has a lot of flaws. The tone is far more campy and silly and goofy and humorous than the previous film, especially. And the story just isn't that engaging. So, Diamonds Are Forever, it's about diamond smuggling, and Blofeld is back, played by Charles Gray, who was in You Only Live Twice, but as a different character, so that's a bit of trivia. And he's not a great Blofeld, he's just played for laughs, really, and this whole film feels much more like a comedy than an actual spy thriller, and that occasionally works. Some of the writing is actually really good, and some of it is really silly, but enjoyably so, and some of it's just stupid. This film feels like they just gave up trying to be serious, and let's just have a fun time with it, a fun time at the movies, with a big villain and over the top dialogue mostly, because the action. There's a good fight in a lift, there's a good car chase. The opening of the movie starts kind of, not violently, but, Bond in the last film, no, that's a spoiler, I guess, but, or when Tracy dies On Her Majesty's Secret Service, Bond, in this film, decides to go after Blofeld because, his wife's dead. Obviously, that makes sense. And so for the first 2 minutes, it's actually a direct sequel to the previous film, which has only really been done in Daniel Craig's tenure. But then, when Blofeld actually shows up and Sean Connery's there and he's not giving a serious performance at all, he's just kind of sleepwalking through the film. He delivers the humour quite well, but the edge is completely gone. The hard edge is completely gone. And it's just goofy, really. Most of it takes place in America, in casinos and like a circus, and the locations aren't as thrilling. There's like one long chase with like dune buggies and stuff, and it's horribly grey, and there's no music, and it's just, the action's not thrilling at all, really. There is a good fight at the start, but that's just in a lift, so it gets, as the action gets bigger, it gets more silly, and the end just feels like a rip-off of the last film, where there's the villain's lair is in a high point and they have to have loads of helicopters go and have a big battle, and it's nowhere near as good as the previous one, so I don't know why they bothered. Some of the effects are not as good. It feels like they just didn't spend as much love and care and money into this film as they did the previous one, yet it was applauded more because Sean Connery was in it. So that's a bit of a shame, really. Diamonds Are Forever has some great humour, but it's not really worthy of this franchise. It's just a comedy. It gets really campy too quickly, and Diamonds Are Forever, is one of the worst Bond films as a result. It's not awful, but it's awfully stupid, which sometimes can be enjoyable, but overall, it's not really worth your time. I'd give it like a 4 out of 10 or something like that, and I'll be right back with another review quite soon, and I'll see you again on DJCamel Reviews. Goodbye.